Hi, this is Das from Das Edu. Today I'll discuss about the biomedical instrumentation paper. Okay, so what is basically biomedical instrumentation? I'll discuss in this particular lecture. Right, in the previous class I discussed about what is instrumentation. Okay, and at the very last I mentioned that I'll also describe what is biomedical instrumentation, and in the beginning I'll give lectures on biomedical instrumentation's different topics. I'll try to cover over here, especially the University, Macaut, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of West Bengal, India. Their syllabus I'll try to cover in this particular lecture series. Okay, so right now I'll start this lecture with biomedical instrumentation. What is biomedical instrumentation? Okay, so I'll just try to discuss. To do so, I have to share my screen over here. Okay, so now what is biomedical instrumentation? Okay, so in this particular very first diagram of my slide, there is a very historic importance. This particular figure has a very historic importance. I may say, as because this particular picture shows you that Dr. William Einthoven, who is called the father of ECG, is doing his first ECG on himself, okay, by putting his both the hands and the left leg on some bucket. Okay, so this particular picture as was of the first ECG, and the telecommunication of this particular ECG waveform was sent from one distance to another. This was done by Professor Einthoven, okay, in the year of 1912. And the particular figure's historic importance is that in 1912 Dr. Einthoven discovered some law of ECG, okay, and he tried to send the particular ECG data through some biotelemetry process, right? So whatever I am going to the detail of this particular course, what is biomedical instrumentation, and I'll obviously discuss this particular figure later while I'll talk about ECG and Dr. Einthoven's ECG law. I'll discuss these things in detail in later classes. So what is biomedical? This is some application of engineering principles and design concepts to medicine and biology for healthcare purposes. Example, diagnostic or therapeutic. Okay. So over here, I mentioned that the application of engineering principle and design concept to medicine and biology. Okay, so we will talk about in this particular paper regarding the medicine and biology and the application of engineering on medicine and biology, maybe in diagnostic or in therapeutic. Now, bio denotes something concerned about life, and the medical obviously means that with which regards some treatment or like that. Okay, now some major biomedical fields are like the biomedical instrumentation. Our right course, this particular course is the biomedical instrumentation. Okay, I'll talk about definitely with some of the topics which are covered by Makout University of West Bengal, India. Okay. Then some bioinformatics, genetic engineering, neural engineering, and clinical engineering. These are some major biomedical fields which are basically involves the biomedical over here. So now biomedical instrumentation, this particular paper includes some major fields like biopotential generation, okay, how we generate the biopotential, source of biopotential, source from where this particular electricity has been developed inside our body, okay. Then measurement of that biosignals which are developed by our body will be measured by this, supposed to be ECG, EEG, or EMG. Okay, so not only I'll discuss the biopotential generation, I'll also discuss how to measure the biosignals like electrocardiogram, electroencephalogram, and electromyogram. And you know, obviously, the cardiogram means the signal achieved from the uh, heart. Cardio means heart. EEG, electroencephalogram, encephalo means from our brain, and EMG, electromyogram, means from our muscle cells. Okay, so these particular measurements, how we measure these biosignals, I'll try to discuss over here in this particular topic, in this particular uh, class. Okay, then the processing of those measured signals, how we process that particular achieved signals. Okay, until unless we process any signals, this has no meaning, you know. Okay, it had to be calibrated. Okay, so after calibration or after some processing task, these particular signals are only readable then, otherwise these are not readable, you know, as an instrumentation engineer. Okay, then the fourth is the medical imaging, like the x-ray, like CT scan, like MRI, then nuclear medicine like the PET, positron emission tomography, or SPECT, whatever, etc., ultrasound, thermogram, and echocardiography. Okay, so these particular imaging techniques I'll try to discuss in this particular syllabus topic. Then biosignal transmission or biotelemetry, whatever you may say. The biotelemetry I have just told you in the first slide, where Dr. Einthoven tried to send the signals from his lab to other. Okay, he did the biotelemetry over there. Okay, I'll try to discuss also these things over here, how to send the signals, how to receive the biosignals, especially biosignals. Okay, so this is the biosignal transmission or biotelemetry, whatever you may call. Then some implementation of sensors like the temperature sensor, pressure sensors, etc., etc. As we know, in instrumentation, there are several sensors which can measure the temperature or the pressure. Okay, but all these particular sensors cannot be implemented on human body or for biotelemetry, or sorry, for biosignal measurement. Sorry, biosignal measurement. Okay, so every of these sensors are not applicable for our human body. So what the sensors especially to be generated for the human body to measure the biosignal, I'll discuss over here. Okay, so these are some topics I'll try to cover over here in this particular lecture series. Okay, and also biomedical instrumentation basically includes these major fields. Okay, so now what to learn from this course? I'll again telling that major topics I'll include some brief physiology of human body. Okay, then the different transducer and electrodes for biomedical applications, transducers and electrodes which are basically applicable on the human body. Okay, not every transducer, not every electrodes can be used on human body. There are some constraints to use all the transducer and electrode on the human body, Okay. Third is measurement of blood pressure, blood flow. Okay. I'll also show how to measure the blood pressure, blood flow, different techniques to measure, how to read the pressure, or what the transducers uh, we will use over there to measure the blood pressure, what the transducers we will use to measure or measure the blood flow. Okay, so these we will see, and obviously along with this I'll show you some data processing also. Achieve data I'll try to process to show how the processors are used over here, biomedical processors. Okay, I'll talk about. Then fourth one is the electrical activity of heart and respective signal measurement and its processing, and obviously the ICC instrumentation, where I'll show you the case of one ECG signal will be achieved, then it will be transmitted, then while in transmission, obviously there will be some noises will be introduced in the channel. Okay, how to eliminate that noise. Okay, then how to amplify that particular signal, and then how to read that particular signal, so that some readable signal I can show you. We can see over here. Okay, one case I'll show you how to what the instrumentation is used in intensive coronary care. I'll show in this particular course. Okay, then the electrical signals like nerve cell, muscle cell, etc., and their interpretation, how to interpret these particular signals, how to read these particular signals. Okay, what the uh, cell signature or the signature it is presenting by its signal. Okay, the signal shape, wave shape, etc., everything will say about the health of the patient. Okay, obviously that from ECG waveform the physicians can detect what the particular position of the patient is having, what the difficulty he is having, only by seeing the ECG waveform. Okay, like that, how the physicians read whether the patient is healthy or he has any disease. So I'll try to interpret in this course also. Okay. Next one is the electrical activity of human brain, EEG, obtaining different signals from brain like alpha wave, etc., etc. I'll try to obtain, how to obtain I'll discuss obviously, and their irregularity, and I'll try to interpret the brain diseases by seeing the nature of this wave shape of EEG, right? Then the next one is the electrical activity of muscles, obviously EMG. Their interpretation I'll try to show over here in this course. Okay, and different imaging techniques like X-ray, ultrasonic imaging, IR, infrared imaging, etc., etc., I'll try to cover. And the last not least is the biotelemetry, the signal transmission. How do we transmit the bio signals, which are basically a low magnitude signal, obviously. Okay, I'll try to send the signals and try to measure and try to eliminate the noises introduced in the channel. Okay, so these are some topics I'll try to cover over here. Now, what is EEG? Sorry, ECG. ECG is basically the electrocardiogram. Over here on this particular figure, I have shown that this patient is attached with only 6 chest leads, and these leads, with this help of these chest leads, there are some ECG measurement is going on of this particular patient, and over there at the right side, top right side of this patient, there is some ECG waveform, how the physicians measure whether the patient is healthy or not, his chest, his heart is healthy or not. By seeing only this particular diagram, signature of the cell will tell the fitness of the heart. Okay, so this is the ECG waveform, and basically we present 6 chest electrodes along with 3 lead electrodes, like the 2 arm electrodes and 1 left leg electrode must be included, otherwise the ECG will not be complete. Whatever, I'll talk this ECG in later classes in detail. Okay, so this is the ECG. Now EEG, electroencephalogram, challenges to build up model. Still there are some challenges present, and the researchers are working how to better understand and better do with the EEG signals. Now see over particular diagram I have given here. There are some helmet which consist of some electrodes which are placed on the head, and these particular electrodes are reading the brain signals. Okay, and if you zoom on this particular EEG reading table over there, you will see some signals of different frequency has been achieved from different electrodes placed on different sides of the human body, human brain. Okay, so these things I'll again discuss in detail while we will talk about the EEG in detail. Okay, next one is the CT. CT means computer tomography. And before discussing CT, I must talk about the X-ray scan. X-ray, which is basically, we can understand in 2D, okay? But there are some problem in 2D obviously, and as we cannot interpret what is the size, actual size, whatever it may be, if we take the cross section, if we take the cross section and take the X-ray image of this particular box, inside the box there are different shaped objects are over there. If we take the X-ray from the front view, this will be supposed to be the nature of the particular S2 plane. Okay, then if you take the P plane X-ray, it will show like that. If you take the S1 plane X-ray, it will show you like that. But unless you will take the CT scan, you cannot achieve whether or what the exact size or site of that particular object. Okay, so there are obviously has some problem in X-ray. So we discovered the CT, computerized tomography. Over there, some sliced images are being present. What is sliced image? We will take the 180-degree or 360-degree view or X-ray of that particular object. Okay, so if we take only one planar X-ray, we will present like supposed to be S1 planar X-ray. We will see only 2 figures, one triangle and one rectangle over there. If we take only S2, then there is a half circle and a full circle. And if we take the P, then there is some overlapping of this half circle with the triangle and the circle with the rectangle. So 3 planes will give you 3 X-ray images, and you are confused. Now if we take a 360-degree X-ray imaging of this particular box over here, okay, so we will get the exact shape of these inner things in this particular box. Okay, so that is why we basically prefer the CT scan, where the particular X-ray is having some confusion to detect what the nature of the cancerous cell, or what may be there may be some tumor. Okay, so these things to detect tumor, its size, site, etc., to detect exactly what is its size, where it is located, its site, we generally take the CT scan. Okay, so CT is basically sliced image, and it is better or 3D representation of X-ray images. And these particular things I'll again talk in detail while I'll discuss in CT in this lecture series. Now PET, positron emission tomography. Tomography again means some slicing, obviously, but not using X-ray. We will over here we will use some positron emission to detect the exact size or site of this particular tumor cell or the object. Okay, this is also again a 3D imaging system. Okay, now the IR imaging, infrared imaging, this is basically used to detect the cancerous cell. As we know, the cancerous cell has much more temperature than the normal cell. Okay, so see over here in this particular scale in this right side at degree Celsius, the much more warmer, the much more red or pink, or the much more colder, it is much more in green. So green 3 is the cool and 9 is the maximum heated. So this is the scale. And if the cancerous cell is inside our body, it is the maximum temperature it has. So it will give you in the scale of 9. Okay. And if it will give you some color detection, it will be in pink or red. Then it will show you that whether the cancerous cell is present or not, if there is some red images are detected. Okay, and in this particular figure there is some house and its IR imaging has been taken. I have not given over here any biomedical application. Okay, so in the class of IR imaging, I'll obviously try to show you what is the IR imaging, how it is measured or how it is imaged. Okay, now echocardiogram, the term echo means obviously it will involve some kind of sound, obviously, and this cardiogram will only being helped by some sound imaging. So how? Let us take the help of some video. Okay, so here it is the video. You will understand if you see the video over here. So over here the heart is beating, and this particular figure represents from the heart by using the echo sound of the heart. Okay, so this is a video imaging, and from here we can also detect the heart chambers are opening or closing over here. These are the two valves is opening and closing, and the blood is flowing like that. Okay, so only by using the sound of the heart, there are some representation of the video image. Okay, now the ultrasonography USG, obviously we will use some ultrasonogram to detect the shape and or size of this object. Okay, next some biotelemetry and biopill. I have shown one application of biotelemetry over here and biopill. Okay, this is a miniaturized electric pill. Its approximate length is 25 millimeter and its diameter is 10 millimeter. It will be swallowed by the patient or it will be implanted inside the human body. It will detect the biological signals or captures images to be used for diagnostic and therapeutic purpose. And as it can detect signal or it can capture images, I have written here. Okay, so obviously there are some transducers or sensors is present or some camera is present over here in this particular biopill. Okay, so this particular radio pill interface is that there is some antenna to transmit the signal, transmitter, camera or sensor, battery or power management. Okay, So this is the interface of radio pill. Then some future scopes. Future scopes, obviously, there are some universities who are teaching this particular course in profession. Okay, not like in one semester. They will give you a full course to be a biomedical instrumentation engineer or biomedical engineer. And obviously, there are some scopes of your as a PhD, okay? And there are some companies which recruit the biomedical engineers for their application and development of the instruments, biomedical instruments. Okay, these are some future scopes. So thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.